New Year's Eve is always a big day in college football as two semifinal games of the college football playoff will be played, as we will find out which two schools will play for the national championship. Joining me to talk the college bowl games that count is the one who's best at covering college sports for the New York Post. That is sports reporter Zach Braziller. Zach, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? I like the bowl games that count because there are only a few of them. Although to me, there have been some really good ones the last few days.
There has. I haven't watched them. I was talking about this in my producer Lee earlier because I don't do the bowl games that don't count. I'm into this stuff though. The bowl games that do count. I'm into that, which you are covering. So this is why we have to talk to you. I am into that. So Zach, let's start with the first game. Number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU at the Fiesta Bowl. TCU is truly the Cinderella team here. Out of the 4 teams, nobody expected them to be in the playoffs. Can they shock the world and beat Michigan?
Yeah, I don't see it. Look, they've had a fantastic year. They weren't even ranked in the preseason. They've had a million close games. The quarterback, Max Duggan, the Heisman runner-up, is a fantastic story. Sonny Dykes, first year at TCU to get to the playoff. Look, it's a amazing story. I don't think they're nearly good enough up front. I think Michigan's going to run the ball down their throat. I think Michigan's defense is too good. The line is 7.5. I like Michigan to cover, to win rather comfortably. To me, Michigan gets a huge break here, getting TCU while Georgia gets Ohio State. To me, Ohio State is probably the second most talented team in the playoff after Georgia, but in the least, they're the third most talented team. And to me, it's a major advantage for Michigan getting to play TCU compared to Ohio State.
All right, so Michigan with the advantage there. The nightcap, though, that features number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State, who you just mentioned. The Buckeyes, they're not used to being in the underdog role, and Georgia, they're still a strong favorite here. The Bulldogs, they've been dominant all season. Is there any reason to believe that they won't dominate the Buckeyes, or will this one be a competitive game?
Yeah, there's this narrative that's built up ever since Michigan manhandled Ohio State Thanksgiving weekend that Ohio State doesn't have a chance in this game. I disagree. I think Georgia wins, but I think it's a one-score game deep into the fourth quarter. The one thing about that Georgia defense, it is susceptible to the pass, and C.J. Stroud's the nation's leader in passing efficiency. Marvin Harrison Jr. is absolutely a fantastic player. He's probably going to be a top 10 pick when he comes out of the draft in another year. Ohio State is really good. They played very poorly against Michigan. There's no question about it. This is a team that's got a chip on its shoulder. It's had an edge all week here. I think they're going to play a good game, and I think this is a very fun game. I think it's a one-score game as we head in, deep into the fourth quarter. I think Georgia finds a way to win. I just think Georgia's the best team in the country. I think they've been the best team in the country all year. I love their balance. Stetson Bennett's been terrific at quarterback all season, but I do think this idea Ohio State doesn't belong is not fair.
All right, so you see Ohio State in a competitive one there. Let's make some picks here, because you made your picks, right? You got Michigan, you got Georgia. You think those two teams will play for the national championship. Okay, if those two teams play, who wins the national championship? Georgia or Michigan? Who are you going with?
Georgia's going to win the national title. I've very little doubt. I think, I wrote when the playoff was set, it was Georgia and everyone else. They've been dominant all year. They crushed Tennessee. They crushed LSU. They crushed Oregon. They went undefeated. They've won 15 in a row, 29 of 30. They're the new Alabama. They really are. If Michigan had Blake Corum, their stud running back, I would give Michigan more of a puncher's chance. He's not going to be back. I don't think Michigan has enough. I actually think Georgia gets a tougher game from Ohio State than they get from Michigan in the championship game.
All right, there you go. There's your pick, Georgia to win it all. Zach, enjoy the college football playoff games, the games that actually count. You get to watch some bowl games that count, so that's good. Please enjoy that, and Happy New Year. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, my pleasure. Happy New Year, guys.